Hebrews 13:16. Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. The roots of our congregation extended as far back as 1883, when the town of Springdale formed its first Presbyterian church, also a Cumberland Presbyterian church. Later, in 1914, the church became associated with the Presbyterian Church USA. The first pastor was Reverend R.T. Phillips. Several pastors followed through the years. In 1923, Reverend W.G. Branstetter organized the first town library. It was housed in the basement where the church met and was operated by the ladies of the church. This served the town until the city of Springdale voted to build a new library. After several pastors came and went, the church limped along without its former enthusiasm for several years, and the church formally dissolved on August 4th, 1930. But even after disbanding, one stalwart group of Christian women continued their missionary society work and added others to their roles. This faithful group addressed the needs of the Christian community and continued to function without a pastor. It was, in reality, the faith of these women which resulted in yet another Presbyterian church being organized in Springdale. In 1949, the women met and hosted a Christmas luncheon. Its guest speaker was Reverend Richard A. Geiger of Bentonville. It was his suggestion that the women assess the support and interest of forming yet another Presbyterian church to meet the spiritual needs of Springdale. Through their meetings, they had kept the church spirit and intent alive. A survey was taken, submitted to Presbytery, and was quickly approved. Support and enthusiasm for a new mission church began to bear the fruits from seeds planted by these faithful women. In 1951, 44 charter members of the First Presbyterian Church met for the first time in the basement of the town's library on Main and Johnson Street in downtown Springdale, Arkansas. As this little church grew, they soon realized a larger space was needed. Several locations were discussed, but eventually a tract of land was purchased at Quant and Young Street in Springdale. Some of the members were reluctant to make the move to a larger location because funds were lacking. With more than 2,000 hours of labor by husbands and sons of the original 12 members, a new sanctuary was constructed and completed in December of 1952.
My name is Donna Charlesworth. I attended the very first church service that they had at the Springdale Church, 1948, 1949, in the basement of what was then the library.
I'm Bob Collins.
And I'm Lena Collins.
I've been a member of this church ever since it started. Recommend it to anybody.
A retired artist from Biffer Stained Glass in Greenwood, Arkansas had moved to the area and was commissioned to make several beautiful stained glass windows. The largest window, depicting Jesus chastising his disciples and drawing the little children to him, was a special gift from the Madison Avenue Presbyterian Church in New York City. They wanted to donate it to a mission church, so it was shipped to the little Springdale church, with all shipping charges paid. The first pastor was Charles Brewer. In 1953, a manse was purchased, and in 1965, a new manse was purchased on Rogers Circle. In 1981, by congregational vote, the church began planning for its potential growth. The Reverend Bill Rail, with his wife Maxine, answered the call from the Springdale Church. Approximately 8 acres of land was purchased at 100 South Gutenson in Springdale, its present location. Fundraising campaigns, pledges, and several large donations from members made it possible to begin construction of the new church in stages. Groundbreaking for the fellowship hall and education building in 1985, and for the sanctuary in 1991. The stained glass windows from the old church were incorporated into the new sanctuary. On May 22, 1994, the sanctuary mortgage was burned at Bill Rail's retirement party. The session honored him by making him pastor emeritus.
I thought when they were talking about building the church, I thought, don't do it. And I almost flipped when I went over there And so what they did at the church after we moved out.
Yes. And we finally got to bring our colored glass windows, which help our church here. And all of the ones that have been in Quant Street, we're happy to see them come. And particularly the three that are in the fellowship hall, those were in our Quant Street church, but they were between the wall and the street. We could not see them from the inside. You could only see them from the outside.
When I saw those windows, I felt at home.
The first service in the new church took place February 23rd, 1992. Soon a pipe organ fund was started, and with large donations from 2 members, the pipe organ was purchased. It was first played during a service in August of 1992.
My fondest memory was the day we first played the organ, the new pipe organ, in 1992.
In 1995, upon the death of former pastor Elvin Crandall, handbells were given in his memory. The music program was greatly enhanced by the addition of these instruments. In 1993, the session formed a columbarium committee to explore the possibility of building a memorial garden at First Presbyterian Church. After session approval and waiting several years for the necessary donated funds, the columbarium was built and officially dedicated June 8, 1997. The overall design of the Celtic cross is the central theme of the memorial garden. The cross was made from bricks saved from the First Presbyterian Church, Quant and Young Street location, and will forever symbolize the risen Christ. In November of 2001, Stuart Smith was called as the pastor. He had moved from Fort Smith with his wife, Laura, and 2 young sons. His warm demeanor and friendly, sincere attitude quickly breathed new life into the church. With emphasis on pastoral care and congregational needs, he brought something to the church that had been missing. His positive energy and enthusiasm was contagious, and many innovative ideas were brought to fruition. He especially embraced the youth of the church. His 14 years with First Presbyterian Church was a blessing. Although we were sad to see him leave, we rejoiced in his call to be General Presbyter of the Presbytery of Arkansas. In 2016, the First Presbyterian Church of Springdale has grown and prospered into a membership of over 300 members. Even though their numbers have increased, the church remains small enough that everyone is recognized and embraced by a caring church family. Springdale First Presbyterian Church is known to be a warm congregation stressing faith, family, and fellowship.
There's still a lot of those familiar faces as well as the new young people. It's continued to be a very warm and large family church that is very welcoming to both new people and if you, in my case, I've had times of absence, but I always feel welcome when I return.
You know, way back in 1989, that this was a very friendly group of people. Always made me feel very warm and welcome.
I think all the friendships and support that this church gives to everyone is tremendous. It's a very special church.
The whole congregation working together to make this happen. One person can't do it.